Is it going to be Darius Thompson, as you said, and you're in the blue, the ball is in the air, and we are under possession to the reigning champions in the 25th anniversary edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, straight away, Efes have gone to the same strategy of guarding Kendrick Nunn, forcing him to his right hand. They do not want to let him dribble with his left hand, and then they'll double team him on a high screen and roll. What he did he's done here to start is he's waits for the pressure and then he's kicking to the open man. Grant
knocks down that wide open three, so Panathinaikos open with the first basket. Both teams starting in man-to-man defense. And that shot off the mark. Good work inside. And Yilmaz with the deuce.
He's played 2 minutes per game, and he only played 2 games so far. And then tonight he starts and gets the bucket.
Yurt Saban in his first year with Panathinaikos, his shot's off the mark.
That's Matoglu.
I beg your pardon.
Yurt Saban have done well to make that shot off the bench because he's sitting on the bench.
Well, good defense here by Jenny Osmond, and great hustle by Shane Larkin, who comes back to reduce the impact of the turnover.
You asked me about pressure. Don't forget, you know, Larkin is a 2-time champion. You've got veterans on this team. This isn't a bunch of under-18s, you know, that are still excited about going to their first prom date. These guys have been there, done it. They know what it will take. And that hustle there from your star player is the example that shows that FS is ready.
Yeah, especially when it's your scorer, too. You love when your scorer gets his hands dirty. Right now, Nunn earns his first trip to the line.
Well, you see that the risk you take, as we saw in game 2-3, if you let Kendrick Nunn go to force him to his right hand, see, not let him go left because he is left-handed, that takes away his 3-point shot. But he's such a great finisher around the basket. You know, but you know, 25 points and didn't score a 3-point score in the last game. He can hurt you inside. So when you force him right, the help has got to come quickly, and you've got to shut him down. If he gets underneath that dotted line in the center circle in the lane, you're in trouble.
Yeah, Nunn had 25 points in game 3. He was the MVP of the playoffs in that round, so well done to him. And he makes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Well, the drums are beating here in the Basketball Development Center, trying to urge FS onto a victory. Here's Thompson, his pass. Just too strong for Poirier to bring in. And Nunn kicks, meet the glue. Long rebound into the hands of Grant. Extra possession here for Panathinaikos.
Well, what Matoglu needs to be careful of is not to force it. You know, he was the hero in game 3 because he's making all these threes. It's not just going to come back to you naturally, because obviously FS will have adjusted. Don't force it. Let it happen the way Cedi Osman just did.
Let the game come to you. Osman rattles home that 3, and Panathinaikos open up a 7-2 lead. You can see how Grant trying to shepherd Larkin to Gabriel. Poirier's runner in and out. Osmani comes up with the loose ball. Good hustle. Extra possession here for FS.
Yilmaz keeps it alive. Has about that for a finish from Larkin. An important thing, you talk about pressure, Liam. The important thing at the beginning of the game is not to panic. You know, we know this game is 40 minutes at least, so you've just got to stay through it. Right, this whole series has been a set of runs. So Panathinaikos started out the harder team. FS need to just stick to their game plan.
You can see, now does he double dribble? Did he get away with a double dribble? Osman's shot is no good.
Wow.
He'll try a second time from the same spot. That's no good. And FS do not do a good job taking care of their defensive rebounds. The stick back from Dino Mitalu.
Well, that first rebound they should have picked up. Darius Thompson just got caught looking at the basketball.
Yeah, great feed. And Poirier just couldn't finish it. Thompson knocks home the 3.
Offensive rebound, his second chance opportunity is really helping. You know, you talk about the shot blocking, you know, Atura and Poirier game 5. What's the odds now? I'm talking about the 63 bus. Wenyan Gabriel goes for 5 block shots tonight.
Listen, you just can't help but...
He's already got his first. A good defense there from Larkin.
Gabriel joined the season because of the absence of Matthias Lesor. Lesor rode off this season with an injury.
Yilmaz, for me, has been the X-factor so far. Offensive rebounds, broke up. He got the 2 of those. Then he gets the steal.
Osmani down in the box, trying to back down his countryman. Skips a pass over the top. It finds the hands of Thompson. Yilmaz, let's fly. Got it. Well, he's justifying his selection in the starting lineup.
He's played 4 minutes 28 seconds in the first 3 games. He starts game 4 and gives us 5 points, 3 rebounds and a steal in the first 5 minutes.
He's done his job so far. Remember, fans, these teams played 48 hours ago, so coaches trying to rest legs and space out minutes to the best they can. Good drive by Osman, just can't convert.
That's good defense by Yilmaz as well, though, because Osman, don't forget, has already made a 3. Yilmaz goes out under control, you know, and that's why Osman had to make the drive. And how's about this? The 17 points, well, 14 points in the season coming into this, and he nails 5. Look at that, Yilmaz gets out the way. Osman's playing for the foul there. Doesn't get any contact. And oh, I can see why Poirier is asking for a challenge, saying Gabriel touched that. And the question is, as always, is it conclusive on the video evidence?
Well, the referees look like they're going to take a look at this
system. I love when the referees don't get it right all the time.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been chatting through the season. We just hope they can be a little bit quicker with their reviews sometimes.
Well, I mean, we can. If that's the worst thing we have to worry about, then we've got a perfect product. You know, these games this season have been nothing but sensational.
It's been a marvelous season, the 25th anniversary edition, and for the first time ever, the EuroLeague's going to take its brand outside the continent of Europe. Larkin from distance!
Yeah, and Yilmaz again, you see that, he didn't panic, hands off to Larkin, holds stills to set the back screen, which drops Kendrick Nunn to the deck, and Larkin, been there, done it, got 2 rings, nails the triple. Yeah,
Martin, those things don't show up in score sheets. There you go. There's a pick which opens up Larkin. None of that appears in a stat sheet.
Exactly.
But what a great piece of play by Yilmaz to open up the opportunity for Larkin.
And what an inspired decision by Coach Banky to start it.
For sure.
You know, he says, look, you know, 48 hours ago, he hasn't played, his legs are fresh, he's looking good in practice, and listen to the rapture he will get from the fans. And what challenge does this set for anybody who replaces him? Because now he's set the moon and they would sell out. This is one of the ultimate sporting challenges in basketball, certainly, in all sport as well.
Gabriel, his shot off the mark. Good extra effort by Wenyen Gabriel. Still at it. And he turned it over. Pass ahead. Thompson attacks. And we've got a foul here, so we'll get free throws for FS. There's Rodrigue Beaubois. Not available tonight, injured, but supporting his team from behind the bench.
You know, when the players aren't available, it's almost as if they don't exist. Great hustle from Gabriel.
Yeah, super.
Shouldn't have taken the first shot, and then does the right thing, gets 2 offensive rebounds, and what happens? His teammates aren't even thinking he's going to finish. And here, Jerian Grant, who's been just a world-class defender over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, he's the guy who's grown into his career as well, Martin. He was the MVP of the Euro Cup when he played for Turk Telekom. He first appeared on the EuroLeague stage with Olympia Milano. Just couldn't find a place for himself.
He couldn't get on the rhythm. That team, they had Chacho, you know, they had Sergio Rodriguez.
I think Malcolm Delaney
there,
group
so
too,
hard to get into. Whereas now, you know, effectively, Coach Ataman's giving him the ball. He's running the point spot between him and Slukas.
Made 1 3 already tonight. Now he calls for a ball screen from Yurt Saban, who's in the game. Larkin closes quickly. Oh, great extra pass. Terrific sharing of the basketball by Grant. And the 3 is good for Mitalu.
Yeah, and that time Osmani went and put pressure up on Grant. But that's what happens when you double team Kendrick Nunn. Somebody's going to be open. And what Panathinaikos have been able to do is have the patience to find the open hand.
Well, Larkin, just like Nunn, drawing a crowd. Foul here on Mitalu just at the last 5 or 6 seconds in the shot clock.
Well, you better believe you talk about scouting reports and defensive systems for Kendrick Nunn. Panathinaikos have got one for Shane Larkin, which is they don't want to have him easy penetration to the basket.
Osmani trying to manufacture a shot, tough. Good defense by Panathinaikos, and Osman claims the defensive rebound. Here's Osman now, getting ahead of steam. He'll go right to the window and laying up and in coast to coast from the former FS player.
Well, you see that the confidence that Cedi Osman has picked up as the season has worn on. And contrast that to the play that Osmani did the other end. That's a better play for Osmani. I don't care if he misses it.
Yeah, but
shoot the ball with confidence.
Yeah.
Whereas Cedi Osman went to the cup to get it done. And you can see Poirier anticipates Osman is causing trouble for his team right now. When I talk about the runs, Panathinaikos started this game out on a 7-2 burst. Then Efes pull it back, they stretch out, turn it into a 13-9. Now the momentum is with Panathinaikos. I said it. We're not going to have a double-digit blowout tonight. These two teams know each other now. This game is going to be more of a chess match at some point in time.
Yeah, it's funny, Martin, because during the regular season, round 15 back in December, Efes won 93-67. In round 26, Panathinaikos won 104-89. So the regular season games are a little bit lopsided, but this playoff series has been tight.
Yeah, but you know, you almost throw out the regular season now. That's a great move by Nunn. That was a great move, because once he got to his left hand, you see Smits panicked and turned his back to try and chase him left, and Nunn, watch him go back here. Gets on the back of Roland Smits, so he's at his mercy. What Smits should have done was just stop, stand still, let him have the layup. Instead, you commit the foul, and Nunn gets more momentum at the free throw line.
So Lorenzo Brown in the game now for Coach Ataman as Nunn goes to the charity stripe for his second visit.
Yeah, and Jerian Brown, he's another one of those players, a star, you would say, when he came to this club, but he has not played a lot in this series. So maybe Coach Ataman's going to, give him some extra court time, see if they can get something out of him the same way as Efes have got something out of Yilmaz.
Yeah, Brown in his first season with Panathinaikos, he came across from Maccabi Tel Aviv. Maccabi Tel Aviv lost Brown, Bonzi Colson, and Wade Baldwin. And of course, Colson and Baldwin are going to go to the Final Four with Fenerbahce. They swept Paris 3-0. Turu on the floor for his first action. Here's Thompson.
Wow, that's a hell of a catch by
It sure was.
You know, Danaturu, let's say, is underappreciated somewhat offensively. He has got magnificent shooting touch.
Just his second season, both of them with Efes. Now he gets a turnover. Here's Bryant for his first action. Extra pass to the corner. Smits, can he make it? Got it.
Wow. Well, both teams, Liam, are giving us what we paid for in terms of, if you bought a ticket, you're having a show put on for you right now. These teams are shooting the lights out, playing hard-nosed defense, giving it all they've got. Don't tell me Panathinaikos is trying to take it easy and just go back to Athens and wait for game 5.
Yeah, both teams been good from behind the arc. Efes 4 of 6, Panathinaikos 3 of 6. There's a miss. Back come Efes. Larkin's played every minute so far. Yeah, great pass to Oturu, who lays it up and in. Easy deuce for Efes.
Yeah, I said in game 3, someone would say because Poirier had an off night, so maybe it was the bigs, but Danaturu has been an able replacement for him, and he's had an outstanding start to this one.
So smart, so positive by Osman as he attacks Smits on the drive. Smits protests his innocence.
Well, the point here, this we're talking about, watch, he knows the foul is coming. That's why it was so good when Yilmaz got it without doing one before. Smits is saying, I'm playing good defense, ref. You are, but the body contact happens. Osman's career, you've got to get out of the way. Or you've got to get in front of him, which is too much, you can't do because he's that much quicker than you.
There's Matthias Lesor. And we hope he comes back to action next season. As PJ Dozier checks in, he was a game-time decision for Efes.
Well, we'll see how bad his finger is. Well, it's going to be as if somebody chops it. Not sure which finger he injured in game 3. If it's on his shooting hand, that will limit him offensively.
Cedi Osman in his 5th EuroLeague season.
You see that heavily strapped right hand of Dozier. But Dozier gives this play, gives Efes much more than offense. He's got that toughness, you know, a hard-nosed player, and also he's got the size. He can contest the shooters like Cedi Osman, and he's got the quickness to defend him.
Well, here he is now with his first touch. Dozier guarded closely by Nunn. Just over a minute to play here in the first frame. FS with a 3-point lead. Got contact away from the ball. And now Yurtseven will have a word with the referee.
It's Hernan Gomez.
I beg your pardon.
You want Yurtseven in the game so bad, don't you?
I'm trying to get him in.
Okay, I'll call it.
Well, that's a tough call there. I mean, it could have gone on Smits as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that, again, the defender is always going to lose out in that contest. You know, if that was a guard against a big man, maybe he'd have got the call, but big on big, the ref's going to give the ball to the offensive player.
Larkin, step back three. Just rimmed out as you hear the arena groan.
Well, you got to take that shot. That's what I said. Your stars have to step up, and you need to have a surprise, somebody to give you some numbers that you wouldn't expect.
Larkin with 5 so far in this quarter. None. That shot's too strong, and Hernan Gomez will recycle it.
That's great defense.
Yeah, really good defense by Dozier, as you were talking about, Martin. And here it is. Well, FS did everything except get 10 digits on the basketball. They finally caused a shot clock violation. So terrific defense by the hosts.
Yeah, that defense on the ball. Dozier on Kendrick Nunn. Didn't panic when Nunn picked up the basketball. Closed him down. You see there? That's strapping on that right thumb that he injured in game 3. It's ripped off if the game stays close. Players just get frustrated having any kind of constraint.
About a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. FS with the ball. Panathinaikos do have 1 foul to give. Here's Dozier. Rides the middle screen. Gets deep. The scoop and score is off the mark. Panathinaikos look to break. Here's Brown in the open floor. Brown stops and just can't convert it. Well, here's the 5 on the floor now as we start the second quarter. Bryant, Dozier, Nwora for his first minutes. Roland, Smits, and Oturu for FS. Both teams have been straight man-to-man so far. Smits will probe. Yeah, just a bit too unselfish, wasn't it, Martin?
Well, just hesitant. You know, he's not been... If you're the prime scorer, you know you need to shoot that, which is what he's supposed to do. But instead, he's like, I've got to move the ball on, play banky ball. No, we need points.
Speaking of points, what a great feed from Jetty Osman to Yurtseven, who flushes.
That is Yurtseven.
There he is. I finally got him identified now correctly.
Well, you talk about the injured hand of PJ Dozier. That's you seeing it there, because that's 2 scoop and score layups he's gone from. Both have missed badly.
Yeah, Wancho wide open as FS don't match up correctly in their transition defense. 2 easy baskets for Panathinaikos as we start the second quarter. And Bryant wants to slow things down here for FS.
Well, this unit here for FS needs to perform. Bryant has been quiet. You talk about him being one of the glue players. You need Jordan Nwora, who's been almost missing in action, to step up and do something. And there, the turnover. Elijah Bryant with the penetration and kick. Is it Jerry and Grant gets in the way? Oh, no, Hernan Gomez just steps up, takes the charge.
Yeah, Martin, these are the little things that are so important, right? As Hernan Gomez puts his body on the line, great feed here from Osman. But those little things like Yilmaz coming in and giving positive minutes in what could be a decider.
In a game that's a series that's been as tight as this one, it's going to be something like that. You know, the MVP will probably be the leading scorer, but there's going to be plays that are not going to go right way like that. Remember earlier in first period, Yilmaz sets the perfect ball screen and gets the 3-pointer. Hernan Gomez tries to do the same play and gets called for an offensive foul, except he was moving, so it was a good call.
So Gomez drew a charge on the defensive end, but turned it over on the offensive end. FS get the ball back. Here's Nwora. Going to test the defense of Osman. Shot clock running down. Here's Bryant. A crazy shot from Bryant, but it's again good defense. Panathinaikos.
Well,
nothing
he wants
easy
the foul,
for FS,
doesn't he? And the physicality is something we hear talked about an awful lot. That's physical defense from Yurtseven, just getting in the way. And what he's doing is he's retreating the whole time. So it's not a lateral move, it's an actual backwards one. See PJ Dozier's taking the his hand isn't right. Those 2 layups, he'd normally make at least one of them, but he missed the second one badly.
So Thompson back on the floor for Coach Banke. Here's Osman. Spins. Class. What a finish from Jetty Osman.
How good has he been to start this game?
Well, he's been so good, he's going to cause a timeout for his former club. And Cedi Osman with a classy finish to send both teams
ready for this game.
We should say in that Madrid game last night, the great and the good was there. Courtois, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, was in the front row. Madrid lost to Olympiacos in what was a great game last night, wasn't it?
He could have played some defense on that big three that Bezenkov hit. The one he hit he was being draped over by the defense. Look, what a great game that was. What a great battle back by Olympiacos.
Lucas, who used to play for Olympiacos, Osman, he's on fire right now. Cedi Osman, 11 points for the 16.
And look how much is he enjoying this. You better believe he knows he's back at his boyhood club in a game that seriously means something.
Bryant lets fly, got it, strings it. Elijah Bryant, what's he got for us tonight?
Sometimes players like Bryant, they do so much for their teams. You know, they need to recognize when they need to take the scoring load. Bryant does a bit of everything. He guards the best player defensively, he rebounds, he passes the ball. Tonight they need him to score.
Well, Yurtseven, woo, just rimmed out. Good second effort. Powers it up inside. It just can't convert, but you love the endeavor of Yurtseven. Now you love Arturo.
Oh, he blew it.
Just misses.
Oh, hey, you know we were talking about the physical nature before when Yurtseven took the drive. Was it the drive from Bryant and he didn't get no foul? That's why it wasn't called at the other end. I love it when the referees let him play, but Arturo took up and thought, slam dunk, oops, no, it's not, but how's about this for hustle? And he gets underneath, and there, Yurtseven, he can ask the referee, didn't, but the call there, that's a soft slap on the wrist compared to body up, big man basketball that we love so much.
Well, I love the fact that Arturo is a rim runner, so he's defending the goal on the defensive end, and then he runs the length of the floor. And as you say, Marty, he just didn't elevate enough to flush it. Well, poor Yurtseven is having a stern talking to by Coach Ataman.
Well, because you know what he's saying to him? He's saying, look, he just beat you up with your body at one end, and then you're going to go and slap him like Mr. Softy down here. Man up. Give us your best. You know, don't tell me that Panathinaikos want to get to game 5. Coach Ataman, he wants it done now.
Remember, of course, Ataman coached Anadolu Efes for many years. He led him to 2 titles. Osman, scoop and score, he can't miss. Cedi Osman Martin is 4 from 5 from the floor, 1 from 3 from behind the arc. He's perfect from the stripe. Yilmaz back on the floor for the hosts. When does Larkin come back into the game? Bryant on the baseline, that's tough. Just can't convert.
That's a difficult shot for Bryant. But at least he's taking it. You know, they've had some players hesitant to shoot the ball. Sometimes as a player, you just recognize the unit on the floor and say, hey, well, I'm open. I need to have the guts to pull the trigger like this man here, because he's got no conscience right now, Cedi Osman, and rightly so.
I love the fact that Slukas found him there too, right? Give him a little touch, couldn't convert. Bryant, tough pass and 1. Well, good patience and poise here from Elijah Bryant. Lets the play develop.
Yeah, but also he recognizes that with this unit on the floor, he's getting double teamed.
Yeah.
So he knows, a bit like Slukas at the other end, somebody else is open. And Cedi Osman frustrated with himself because he knows he's not going to win a battle against Osmani. But don't forget, this is his first break. He's played every moment of this game. He's played the first 15 minutes of the game. So you'll forgive him a mistake, since he's just given you 13 points and kept this game tied. Well, Nina Matoglu trying to argue the referee about who stepped in the lane first. The referees generally, once they've made the call, they do it. This isn't one you're going to want to review. The senior official, Senor Perez, stepped in. Generally, they just let him, oh, they're going to go jump ball, because one referee. Okay, so the original call, referee says Matoglu steps in first, so shoot the free throw again, which is normally what happens. But actually, the referee got it right the first time, because Poirier stepped in and stepped back out before Osmani shot the ball. Metoglou was in the lane when he shot the basketball. And now it's like you make a drama out of a crisis. We end up with a jump ball.
Well, in a close game like this, these decisions sometimes can be weighty.
Well, this could end up going against Panathinaikos if Efes win the jump ball. But no, it does not. Right, get back to the action. Let's not talk about free throw gate.
Panathinaikos win the tap, and here's Grant now, who'll start the offense. Kendrick Nunn moves on to the off guard. And Grant's pass just too high for Hernan Gomez. I think they got their wires crossed, and nobody wants to look at Coach Martin when you turn the ball over.
Well, here's the point, right? The first 3 games, the guards have penetrated and kicked out to the bigs for threes. Hernan Gomez in game 1, Metoglou in game 3. Grant is throwing for a 3-point shooter, but what's happened? Hernan Gomez decides to go to the basket.
Thompson, his shot short.
Yeah, well, Thompson's probably feeling the pressure. Not that he heard me call him out, but he's being called out to give them something. As I said, he's the player that averages double figures on the season, and he's not really giving up the big numbers. Had a 3-pointer in the first quarter. Quiet since then.
He had that great year with Baskonia.
That's a tough bucket.
Bryant converts.
Well, here's the point about the physical play there. Once you recognize the referees aren't going to call the foul, suddenly you concentrate a little bit better. Bryant's going in, knows he's going to get the bump, and so he plays a little higher on the backboard with the layup.
Here's Slukas.
Doing the old Billy Spanoulis, dribble to the lane and keep a hand on it. How's about that Larkin getting in amongst the trees for the rebound?
Now numbers on the break. Thompson lets fly, just can't fall for him. Had a clean look at it. Back-to-back 3 misses by Thompson, but look at the good hustle. That's Darius Thompson trying to have an influence on the game.
Well, he shot that 3, and he was already running back on defense before the ball had left his hands, and this is why, because he knows if he misses, Kendrick Nunn is streaking out. See,
here's that move that you were talking about,
feels the
Martin.
contact, and he goes higher on the backboard. More importantly, he gets to his strong hand. He goes to the right when he knows he can put up some points. Well, talk about going deep to your bench now. Anadolu hasn't played a single minute in this playoff series, and now he's in there guarding Kendrick Nunn. You know why? They want to be physical with Kendrick Nunn.
He's got fouls to give, no doubt.
The kick of the ball. That's and look, what Coach Adam is saying is, look, move. He's a hatchet man. He's out there to be physical and commit fouls if necessary.
Did Nunn get away with one there, Martin, or is that just good hard play?
Get out of town. You know me, I'm at 9,000 years old.
Well, Hernan Gomez with the stuff off the nifty feed from Nunn. And there's where that deep basket cut actually paid off. He and Nunn combined well there.
But the cut was in front of him, so Nunn could see him coming. The last turnover, Jerry Grant's throwing behind him.
Slick passing here by Efes to find Bryant. He just couldn't make the open 3. And Efes, as a team right now, 5 for 11 from behind the rainbow.
Well, no one's complaining about the shooting percentages for either side. Even Pana at 3 for 9.
Oh, what a great feed from Hernan Gomez. He slides it along to Metoglou.
Yeah, look, this is all about the quote-unquote role players, the unsung heroes. Metoglou suddenly is on 7 points. But great passing. Both teams 8 assists already, but also 6 turnovers. So that's the nervousness, the turnovers. That's a nice catch. Got to finish that play, though.
It's numbers here now for Panathinaikos if they could push. Pass slightly behind Hernan Gomez. And a good piece of defense here again. Who? The guy who's just come off the bench trying
Yilmaz.
Yeah.
Told you, the star of the show. It's the unsung heroes. Coach Hernan Juancho wants it reviewed, and he knows better. You can't review a foul. Foul's a foul. Oh, no, it's Osdemiroglu. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, right. Join the club.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least I didn't say Yurtsev. That's beautiful passing.
It is a great pass from Hernan Gomez to Metoglou. And you love it when the bigs share the basketball between each other.
You remember when Hernan Gomez and his brother both came to the EuroLeague? You know, both came to say
Hernan Gomez.
But it was Billy who had the much more heralded. But Juancho has been, well, second team All EuroLeague, shows how good he's been.
Yeah. Great drive by Larkin. Gets it back from Osmani. Just great combination. Really good two-man game between Osmani and Larkin.
Kostas Sloukas has got a point there. He may have traveled, but I think the foul happened first. Well, Larkin knows. See the foul. He definitely traveled, but after the foul. You know, Larkin, a bit like Nunn, he knows the defense is coming. They're going to double team him. They're going to challenge him. They don't want him to have open looks. And so he's trying to move the basketball on. And what you need then is the player who receives the ball to be ready to complete the play. Osmani now going to make the free throws. At the other end, you've got Hernan Gomez and Matoglu who are completing the plays when the likes of Kendrick Nunn gets double teamed.
Just the first foul on Gabriel, but he's going to step out. Martin, this is Osmani's second season, and he's improved so much from last year. He's got himself in the starting lineup. Yeah, he started 33 of 37 games this season.
Well, he's one of only 4 players on this FS team that played all 37 games. Wow. Whereas Panathinaikos have only got 2 players who played every game. So he stays healthy, he's consistent, and he's a good defender.
Speaking of good defenders, there's your man, Larkin. We'll get it back. Larkin directing traffic here between the circles. Did he double dribble? I guess not. He just picked it up.
Well,
who touched it last?
I think that came off Poirier. Well, the stumble from Larkin. I don't know. Did Nunn get a piece of that? Well, Poirier isn't asking for it, so you know he's saying. Well, you know what he's saying? He's like, Shane,
shoot it.
I've seen your paycheck. Shoot the ball. You know, that's what he wants. Poirier's going in for the rebound.
Yeah, don't pass me into trouble.
And look, and this is what happens all the time. This is the communication that you need. It's not that it was a bad pass, but I'm expecting you to shoot that one.
Well, neither team can shake free of the other. The largest lead by either team has been 5 points tonight. We've had 7 lead changes. Remember, all 3 of the games so far have been decided by single digits.
Well, now referee, now this is an interesting one. Because the ball came off the leg. Nothing was, so there's no call here. And now the referee changed and says it's got a kick ball. They say it's delayed, and this is what Osmani's asking about. So you didn't call anything when he hit my leg. So what, you tried, Osdemiroglu, was it him?
Yeah.
No, it was you. Osmani kicked the ball. It's the right call, it was just delayed.
A little bit late. So 14 seconds in the front court here for Panathinaikos. FS, good foul discipline. They've got fouls to give here down the stretch. I think Larkin's going to burn one here. You can see, Martin, how physical it is.
Well, denying Sloukas was okay, but slapping a hole, trying to get that ball. They're so hungry to get the steal. Both teams with 4 steals already in this game. You know, this game is worthy of playoff basketball. You have to say that. And as I said, each of the first 3 games, there's been a double-digit lead that the other team has come back from. I told you tonight, this one's going to go to the wire. This one's just nip and tuck because they've got this. They know each other's best weapons. They know what they've got. Oh, great hesitation. Poirier's second foul. The hesitation from Nunn there freezes the defense. You had Saban trying to get back in Coach Adaman's good books. Tries to throw it down like a real big man should. Well, I see what Poirier is saying. Poirier said, I'm protecting. See, Poirier protects the rim. He's vertical, actually gets the ball. Ooh. But, you know,
just that little contact, man.
You know, look.
Depends who you're playing with.
Well, okay, well, you know, if I'm playing with a couple of softy guards, maybe. But this is the whole thing of players. Poirier's not making a massive complaint about it because he's saying another day I'll get that call goes my way. No, one of the X factors in a game like this is the officiating. You know, does the referee decide that's a foul or not? And if he does, can you make the free throws?
He makes 1 of 2. Yurt Saban in his 3rd EuroLeague season. 2 years with Fenerbahce. Just his 1st season with Panathinaikos. Nice pass to Poirier. And Poirier with a finger roll finish.
And he's looking for the foul back. He's saying to the referee, hey, you just called one on me.
Well, heady play from Panathinaikos. There's a block from Vincent Poirier. You mentioned earlier, Martin, that Poirier had 5 blocks earlier in this series.
Well, how's about the hustle? First, he's arguing with the referee for the foul. Then he's like, oh, got to get back. And how's about that? Because he's made the layup at the other end, and then he beats his whole team back on defense. Look, the big man stretches his legs. Go get him, big fella. Great block. And then Cedi Osman steps. Well, somebody steps on the baseline with the basketball.
I think it's none on the rebound. So
what a game this is.
We're going to wind down this first half. Less than a minute to play before the halftime intermission. Efes just up a point. Each team should have a possession. Panathinaikos do not have fouls to give. Thompson inside to Poirier. Wouldn't drop.
Well, Poirier reportedly carrying a bit of a knee injury, but he knows he, for his standards, underperformed in game 3. He's certainly getting himself in the thick of the action here. First with the block, and then drawing the foul at the other end. No question, Kendrick Nunn steps out of bounds.
Poirier, a EuroLeague champion back in 2023 with Real Madrid. Just his first year here with Anadolu Efes. French international.
You know, Liam, you get down the stretch, the first half's winding down, teams going to the locker room. You start asking yourself, well, so what adjustments will the coaches make? Coach Banky, I think, has been inspired by using players who haven't had any court time for the series.
For sure.
Roglu and Yilmaz have been outstanding.
Well, Panathinaikos' last possession here. Just 2 points between the teams. Brown's pass somehow finds the hands of Nunn, who's bottled up, and Kendrick Nunn can't convert. He's appealing for a foul, and did he get a technical?
Well, Özdemir was the man who sealed Kendrick Nunn. I think he's got the tee, picks up a technical foul, but you see the defense, Özdemir, they get the ball to Nunn, and they force him right. Yeah. This time they had the baseline as the second defender. Yeah. So he tries to turn back out of it. He wants a foul, doesn't get it, and argues the referee. That's how he gets the technical foul. Look at that defense, Özdemir, not letting him on that left hand. Does he get fouled? Absolutely gets fouled, no question. Referee missed the call. Just say that happens regularly. You did get fouled, but they're not going to come back and change it, Kendrick. And you know that. That's just the emotion. That's why we love watching this stuff, Liam.
Well, it's going to be one shot for the technical foul.
And then they'll get the ball back.
They get the ball back.
Probably about half court. It was 3.2 when it stopped. Is that going to... They'll check the clock.
It's the first foul on Nunn, so he's not in foul trouble. He's going to be on his best behavior in the second half. He's going to come out. We'll see if the referees take a look at this now.
Coach Atman goes to the defensive unit while the referees